Hey everyone, welcome to a new emulation video. In this one we're going to be looking at the HD texture pack for the PS2 game Midnight Club 3 Remix. If you're interested in giving this a shot, or if you haven't used HD textures before, go ahead and check out the video, and this will show you how to prep your PS2 emulator to use the HD packs, basically with any game that has a compatible pack with it. So if you're interested in giving this a shot, let's go ahead over here. We're going to download a file from this website which contains the HD pack. So what you want to do is click on this spot right here. You can kind of get a little bit more details on here if you want, but this spot right here is the place for the download. So go ahead and click that. What we're going to do is go through this. Hopefully you have a ad blocker so you don't get anything popping up besides this. Just go ahead and click on get link, and then you'll be able to click on this spot right here and download that file. Once you have that file, extract that somewhere on your hard drive, and then that is the only file that we're going to need to put in the emulator folder for that to work. So let's go ahead and give this a shot. So let's go ahead and look at the spot where you have prepared your HD packs. Now if you haven't done this, all you need to do is go into your PS2 emulator folder. You want to create a folder that says HD packs, and then this is where you're going to be placing the files that you download. And as you can see, they're always labeled by serial numbers and so forth, and that's how the emulator can distinguish which one you have. So what I'm going to do here is go to the downloads folder, and I'm going to show you what to do with that. So let's go inside that folder right now. So this is what the folder is going to look like when you extract it. As you can see, it already has a serial number for the game. Remember, it needs to be the Midnight Club 3 Remix. If you do the regular Midnight Club, this will not work. I tried that game earlier and it does have graphical glitches and it does not run properly. Make sure you have the Midnight Club 3 Remix HD textures and the the remix game. If you have the other one, it will not work. So once you have that, just go ahead and open up that folder once you've extracted it. So what you want to do is create a folder over here with the exact same name. So /21355, make a folder right here, and then you're going to go and take this here and place it inside here. As you can see, I've already done that on mine. So once you have that, you'll see the spot look just like this, replacements folder inside the 21355 folder. Now one more time, you can go ahead and open that. If you want to use the optional Xbox buttons, go ahead and open that, and then we're going to copy these and we're going to paste them inside here. So you should see the message, that it's going to overwrite all the files. So go ahead and tell it yes. If by any chance you want to go back to the original ones, just go ahead and replace it back with these, and it'll put it back to the PS2 style buttons. So once you're done with that, the process for the files themselves is done. So what you want to do now is we're going to go ahead and open up the emulator. So once you get the emulator open, you may or may not see this depending on how you have your set, but you will have the, the game should show up on here if you have it in your, directory for the games itself. So here is mine's right here. So we got this. Now, quick note, if you want your games to look like this, you can go ahead and, there's a certain view here, and there's one of my other videos also that shows you how to do this. There's two ways to do it. There's an auto way, and then there's one where you can go to the wiki page and get the the actual snapshots. So what you want to do is here, go to view, and you want to go to, it defaults to this. So if you want it to look with the how it does with the pictures, go ahead and click on there and click game grid, and you should see this. If you have the blue boxes with just the names, what you want to do is go ahead and right click on here. You can go set cover image if you've already have one downloaded. If not, you can go ahead and click on check wiki page, and it's always going to show a snapshot. Just right click on that and save that save that image onto your computer. And preferably you want to put it inside the folder that has the emulator, and I'll show you how I have mine set up here in just a second. So go to the place where you have the the folders on there, and then what you want to do is go ahead and create a folder that says covers, and you can paste all your snapshots inside there. The ones you get from the wiki are going to look like this. If you follow the other format that you'll see on one of my other videos, they'll pop up like this automatically. So once they're there, you can just right click on the blue box that you see on your emulator, and then you'll be able to apply it. So once again, just click on, the check wiki page, save that folder, and then what you want to do is save set cover image, and you're just going to navigate to the folder that has the images. And you just go to covers. You want to pick the file that has the correct name, and click on it, and it will populate the box there, and you should see the snapshot versus the blue border with the white letters in it. All right, so now that we have that done, let's go ahead and get the game set up to run properly with the HD pack. Now this was going to take a couple of more settings to make the game show up properly. If you do just the pack alone, on mine's it defaulted to like a 16-bit colors, and it looked pixelated on the sky. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do this from start to finish for that. So let's go ahead over to game properties. We're going to go up here to display. And then you want to pick your renderer up here. We're going to scroll down a little bit. You want to make sure these settings I show you are set. So this one, you can set this to smooth. You're going to scroll down some more. You want to make sure your anti-blur is set. The internal resolution here, you can set it to whatever you want. I have mine's on 1920 by 1080. Then these are the things you can change. I suggest you leave them at global setting. Now here for dithering, this is the one that's important. You want to go ahead and force 32-bit on there. If you leave it at the default, the skies are going to look kind of like pixelated. They're not going to look good. And then you also want to make sure that the mapping is checked on here. And you want to make sure that load textures is on. And that's going to, have the game set the emulator to pull the HD graphics from the folder. And then we're also going to go back here. So let's see. Let's actually close the game because I want to show you how to do this through the menu also. So go ahead from here, settings. And this is where you want to go for the graphics. So this will set up the HD graphics for any game that has the folders with the serial number corresponding to the game. So what you want to do is go to graphics, texture replacement, and then you can check here that everything is set. So you want the load textures on here. You want this checked. And again, you want to have here, you want to browse to the location that has the HD packs. You do not have to point it to the actual folder with the serial number, just the folder that contains the folders with the serial numbers. So, kind of name it something like this. This way it'll be easier for you, to get this to work correctly for you. So what we're going to do now is go ahead, we're going to launch this and make sure that it is working correctly. And then once we're in here, I'm going to show you some more settings to make the game run at optimal frame rate. So let's go back in here in the game properties. We are going to shoot over to the settings button. You want to make sure that the E cycle rate is set to 300 in order for this to work correctly. You want to enable this all the way, and you want to thread pinning all the way to the right. What this is going to do is make the game, run at the maximum frame rate that your your screen is set to. I recommend going it to 60. So once you have all those settings on there set, let's go ahead and jump into the game. And back to game properties, you want to jump in here. Now the patches, you want to do this to 60. And in order for this to work, that's where we just set the double E cycle rate to 300. So you'll want to make sure that's set there. Disable the motion blur, and you want to enable widescreen. So in order for this to work, remember you need to go in here and set the cycle rate to 300. So let's go ahead and escape. We're going to go ahead and resume the game, and we'll run through here real quick. So as you can see, the game looks and runs great. All right, so with that said, we are done with that one. Now keep in mind, when you use HD texture packs, some games will require different, settings. If you go into the spot where you pick the, the settings for the patches, sometimes that patch itself will let you know if you need to overclock, anything on the EE cycles. So if it does give you a message with a certain percentage to put on there, just go ahead and set it to that, and then the game should run fine. So with that, we are done with this one. If you guys have any questions, as always, go ahead and post them in the comment section. If you haven't subscribed, please do so, and we will catch you guys on the next video. Have a great day.